Hey everybody, Matt here, Big Red Liquors, and today I'm really excited about our latest and last of the year merchant blender in our merchant blender series, and this one is called Valedictorious, and this is actually an homage to the distiller, who is none other than Blake Huber, 7th generation Hoosier farmer, and Huber that's been working that land, and he actually distilled this whiskey, this custom mash, the morning of his high school graduation. Pretty cool. This was like his senior thesis project. This was like his like Eagle Scout project. Anyway, it's the first wheated bourbon that we've released, but it's not all the way wheated. It's 20% barley, 20% rye, 9% wheat, 51% corn. So in terms of a bourbon whiskey, it's kind of in that barely legal category. But what's great about the wheat and the barley is that it really lends this kind of soft baking spice note to it, and with the spice of the barrel, which I'll go into in a second, a really nice complement. So the Hubers make what I think is the best true craft bourbon and craft whiskeys in the United States. Everything is fermented and distilled on site there. And then the Merchant Blender Project is basically our take of going in, tasting all these lots of barrels, combining them together. This is actually not a combination of different blends. This was one lot. This was like his thesis project that we thought, these are so darn good. Can we buy like 8 barrels of this lot, please, and bottle it as one of our merchant blenders? So that's what we did. So like I said, on the nose, this is 106 proof. That's what it went into the barrel as. That's what it's coming out as. 2 years old, Canton craft distiller's barrel. So 2 years air dried, which is really nice, really softens it up. And then the heads, instead of being black charred like the inner staves, are actually just toasted. So you get these nice toasty, which after 2 years in the barrel sort of translate as spice notes. So you get the sweetness and the softness of the barley, a little bit of spice from the rye, but you really get the spice from the wood, which I always think is better. Because rye spice really translates as fruit notes, whereas wood spice is really where you get the spice note, which comes at the finish. Let's sip it. So non-chill filtered. This is going to have a lot of, it's going to be round, viscous, rich, right on the palate. This reminds me of some older wild turkey expressions. But then it hits you with that spice on the finish, that really nice wood spice to go with the sweetness that's in there from the wheat and the barley. So this is a balanced whiskey. This is a flavorful whiskey. And it's certainly one that I appreciate Blake doing and letting us steal some of this from him and bottle it as our third merchant blender. So if you look, we've got the first merchant blender, which was the Rickhouse Field Blend. That was a blend of 4 barrels, which has a red label. Then there's kind of our gold label, which is rye and very intense, very rich rye. And then now we've got this blue label, which is essentially a wheated 4-grain whiskey that's real soft and supple and spice forward. So we'll continue to do more releases next year, but you should be collecting all these merchant blenders. Buy one to drink, buy one to save, because these are really cool whiskeys. Cheers.